Hey guys, and welcome back to the 52-week project, week 11. I can't believe I've actually gone through 11 weeks of doing these photo shoots, and let alone being on my trip around the world. It's been very crazy the last couple of months, but I've loved doing it. So up to week 11 now. What I'm actually going to do in the next few weeks is do like a quarterly review. So after I think about week 13, I'm going to go back through all of my shoots so far and see if we can see any kind of improvement. I've already been looking even at my Instagram feed in the last 10 weeks or so, and I can see a difference. So it's really exciting to see that there is a little bit of improvement in parts, and I'm going to be really excited to share that with you guys. So that's what's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. But anyway, this shoot was done in Vancouver this week, so it was actually last week or the week before, because I'm a little bit behind with the weeks at the moment. So yeah, it was a really great shoot, and I was pretty happy with the end result overall. The weather was a little bit kinder to us in Vancouver rather than Sweden this week, so it was nice to actually have weather. It was still cold, but it was, you know, I could deal with shooting in it, and so could the model, and it wasn't like it was -9 or anything, so that was good. So guys, I'm going to show you the behind the scenes from this week now, and then I'll go into my favourite photos from the week and go through all the final edits. Kind of like twist like the top half of your body.
Perfect. And just need to like tie a little bit more to it as well. Gorgeous. The hair's just a little bit too much on your face. Perfect. The light is like really good.
Hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes from this week, guys. And now I'm going to go through all of the photos that I took from the photo shoot, and I'm going to go through which photos I really liked and which ones I didn't like so much, and tell you guys what my top 5 for the week is. So guys, these are my top 10 photos from the week that I've edited, and I'm going to narrow it down to a top 5 as I usually do. So we're starting off with this photo here. I actually really love this photo. I think there's still a few things that maybe could have been improved, like maybe I could have directed Steph more with her expression in this particular shot. But overall, I really like how it turned out still. I like the lighting. I think that's the thing that I like most about this shot, and a couple of the other ones that I've taken from this shoot. So I do like the backdrop as well. It's kind of a bit interesting. So yeah, this photo is one of my favorites from the week, so it's going straight in my top 5. This is another one of my favorites this week, and
I just really like how it turned out. I think the lighting as well, like the last photo, it was taken in the same area, and she looks beautiful in this shot. She really does. So I just really like how I composed the shot overall. It's been a while since I've had a few portraits that I've really loved from the shoots I've done overseas so far. I feel like I've made a bit of progress in terms of full body shots, but it's nice to have another portrait that I can really say will be in my portfolio and that I'm really proud of. So I think this one is also going to be in my top 5. I really like how it turned out. I also like the editing that I've used this week. I feel like I'm getting better at more natural skin editing, and that's what my challenge was for a lot of these shoots this year. I really want to get very natural with editing on skin and really bringing through the skin texture. This photo is definitely one that I saw on camera and I thought would be in my top 5, but unfortunately I got it on screen and I started editing it, and I don't know, it just didn't turn out how I wanted it to initially, and I think there's a few things that could be improved, particularly with the pose and directing Steph with her posing in this shot, and also her expression, just to make her look a little bit more relaxed. But also I'm not fussed on the lighting. I think it's almost a little bit too flat in this particular shot. So a few things that I need to improve on there with that, but on to the next shot. This is another one that I saw on camera and I really liked, and I thought it was a really cool shot. I do kind of like it, but after getting it on screen and after editing, I don't like it as much. And I think there's a few things, like I said before in the last shot, with posing and expression. I think that definitely needed to be addressed here, and I needed to direct Steph a little bit more in this particular shot. But other than that, I do like how the black and white turned out, but unfortunately not in my top 5 this week. And this is another one that I saw on camera and really thought that was going to be one of my top photos of the week. But like the other 2 photos that I just went through, I just feel like maybe the pose could have been improved on a little bit, because I've got a few photos of Steph doing the same or a similar pose. So I think I could have directed her a little bit more in this shot and gotten her to do a different pose altogether. However, I still like the photo, but I do think the thing that ruined it for me was the lighting once again. It's just a little bit too flat and it's just not popping enough for me. So unfortunately, this one is not going to be my top 5 either. This photo I feel like is a bit of an improvement from the last shot, and I think Steph has more of a stronger pose and a stronger expression, and I do like it the most out of the last few images. I also like the fact that the lighting was a little bit stronger, just so I was able to get a bit of a highlight on her skin tone as well. But it's not going to be in my top 5, only because I think I have a few more photos this week that I do like a lot more, but I still like this photo overall. This photo is going to be in my top 5, and yet again, it is another portrait that I'm really quite proud of from this week. I like Steph's expression. I think it's a little bit more, I guess, angrier, and I did tell her to be angry on the day, so I was really trying to get a bit of a rough kind of expression from her, and I think she pulled it off really well. And I do like the lighting in this shot. It's a little bit better than the other ones, and I just like the composition overall, and her expression is my favorite things out of the photo, so it is going to be in my top 5 this week. This photo is very similar to the previous photo, but it is also going to be my top 5. I just really like the portraits from this week for some reason. I don't think I got a lot of full body shots that I will put in my portfolio, if any really, but I did really like how the portraits turned out overall. So once again, I like the lighting, I like Steph's expression and her pose, and I do like the composition of the photo. So it is going to be in my top 5. This photo was close to making my top 5 because I just really so badly wanted a full body shot in my top 5 this week, but I think it was just not good enough to be in there, because I think with me directing Steph, I could have directed her a little bit better with her pose in this shot. I think the hand does put me off a little bit. The rest of the image isn't so bad, and her expression, and she does look quite relaxed, but the hand for me just does throw it off a bit too much. And I think I happen to like the next photo a little bit more so. So this is the last photo for the week, and it is going to be in my top 5. I just really like how Steph has a really different expression in this shot, and I don't have a lot in my portfolio where the models are quite, not angry looking, but do kind of have that rough expression, and I really like that. So it's quite a big thing in fashion to have that sort of expression, I guess. So I do think it has more of a fashion element than a few of the other photos, and I think that's why I'm going to have it in my top 5 this week. I also kind of like the fact that she looks really relaxed too, and I do like her pose overall. It's a little bit different to the other poses throughout the shoot so far. So definitely going to be in my top 5. So my favorite photo for the week would have to be this portrait. I don't know what it is. I think it has to come down to the lighting and how sharp it is and just the way that Steph looks. I think she looks absolutely stunning in the photo, and I really love that I took a portrait like this that's quite natural and the lighting is good, and I just really like the portrait overall. I haven't had too many number one portraits, I would say, throughout the 52-week project so far, or more so closer up portraits. So I think this is a really good fashion portrait to put in my portfolio, and that's why it's going to be my number one for this week.
I hope you really enjoyed the photos from this week, guys. I'm going to go through now what I think I could have done a little bit better this week and what I think I did well. So in terms of what I did well, I think this week I actually really tried to get some different expressions out of Stephanie the model. So Stephanie was quite a new model, so it was really good to really experiment with her and try and get her to do different expressions this week, and I felt like I was directing a little bit better rather than some of the previous weeks where I wasn't getting enough out of the models in terms of expression. So that was one thing I really wanted to challenge myself on this week, was trying to do that. One thing I felt like I didn't do as well this week was actually to do with the location scouting. I didn't mind the location, but I do think in terms of a street style shoot, which I really wanted this to be, and I'm trying to push myself with doing street style shoots as well, because sometimes the grungier side of shoots I don't do as much, and I think this was a slightly grungier shoot, and I really wanted to get that sort of skater street grunge kind of look with it. So even though the location kind of had that vibe, I think I could have probably gone to that next level and really done some location scouting around Vancouver for something just a little bit grungier and a little bit cooler, because Vancouver is a really cool city, and I think there would have been a heap more locations around to choose from. So I think that obviously that comes down to planning a shoot, and maybe that's something that I should just keep in mind for next time instead of winging it a little bit too often with that sort of thing. So yeah, with my future shoots, I'm going to take a little bit more time beforehand and make sure that I'm doing a little bit more in terms of location scouting. So just before I finish up for this week, guys, I'm starting a new segment with these videos where each week I'm going to feature someone's work from the 52-week project Facebook group. We've got that going on at the moment, and we've also got the Flickr groups as well. So I will be going through both of those groups each week and featuring someone's work at the end of the video. So this week I'll be featuring Anna Bogdanska. I'm really sorry, Anna, if I can't pronounce your last name correctly, but I will be featuring Anna this week because she did the most amazing week 9 photos for her project. I really loved the photographs, and I love the fact that she photographed a male, because I think if you're used to photographing women a lot of the time, it can be a little bit hard to make that transition into photographing men. So I think she did an amazing job. They're such great fashion images, and I just love them a lot, so I thought that I would feature her this week. So if you want to go and follow her, here's her Instagram handle at the bottom of the video, and I've also got it in the description below as well. I really hope you enjoyed this week's 52-week project. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to subscribe to my channel already and you haven't, please do. If you're interested in keeping up with my travels, I currently have a travel vlogging channel with my boyfriend Dan, so if you're interested in keeping up with any of my adventures at the moment, feel free to go over and subscribe to that channel because all those vlogs will be up there. I'm currently in Mexico this week in Merida, and hopefully next week we'll be back in LA to do some more photo shoots. So I'm really excited to look at organising those, and they will hopefully be the next couple of weeks of my 52-week project. So pretty excited for those, and I hope you guys are too. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!